Yo, what's good, guys? Today, this video, what if deku was hated by Class 1A? You guys see the person, the man, the myth, the legend. You see what I'm gonna do. So basically, how this is gonna work, Izuku is still gonna be quirkless. And instead of All Might giving him his quirk, he gives it to Bakugo instead. And when he says he's quirkless, he's still using the UA due to how hard he trained. And then basically we how since he trained his body hard enough for him to so he's able to punch through metal so he can destroy robots. He actually got first place in the entrance exam. And when it's the USJ, they're like, Midoriya, what's your quirk? It's just like, I'm quirkless. I was like, you have to be lying. You have to have a quirk. Because I'm saying that if people don't believe he's quirkless, he always carries a spare copy of his quirk evaluation, basically. It's like, no, I'm not. As Kirishima says, yes, you have to have a quirk. And then he just pulls out a file, as it says, Izuku Midoriya, quirkless. As everyone sees it, they're just shocked. But then they're like, how did you get... But then Kaminari's like, hold up, if you're quirkless, how'd you get into UA? Simple. I merely trained my physical body and intelligence. Plus I use creativity. So yeah. As Yoshima says, what's your regimen, dude? I just like, oh. He says, I just do 200 push-ups, sit-ups, squats. And I do a 2 kilometer run each day. And then I hit the gym, and then I do martial arts classes and I train in like swords. But then the next day after the USJ attack, not actually the USJ attack, since as 13 goes on about how quirks can kill people, Izuku says, so can a broken bottle, a gun, your bare fist if you punch hard enough, curb stomping, all of that, and then there's a bunch of other stuff that can kill people, not just quirks. It's like exactly. And so when Izuku goes into the waterfall zone after the villains start to attack, when C saves him, he's like, I'm going back in there. Just trying to injure some villains. He just jumps into the water with his sword at the ready. As I'm saying that the people who didn't care he was quirkless were basically only Asui, Kirishima, and Jiro. And I'm gonna say that Todoroki and Yaoyorozu too. Because I'm saying that before this, Izuku notices that Todoroki doesn't use his quirk, doesn't use his fire. When he realizes this, he goes up to Todoroki. He's like, why don't you use your fire? And then he talks about his backstory and all that. And he says, but it's your quirk, not his. When parents pass down quirks, it's not theirs. It's their own kids. Your quirk is nothing like your father's, nothing like your father's. Sure, you may have his blood, but you are you. You are not him. He is not you. Todoroki takes this to heart, and that's why he cares. He actually cares for Midoriya. That's like the others, as I just said. As when the Nomu attacks, when Izuku sees the Nomu rush towards Aizawa, as he says, guys, I got a plan. I was like, what is it? He says, I'm gonna distract that thing. And once I do, grab Aizawa and go to the entrance. As says, okay. Ned says, what? You'll get crushed by that thing. He says, I don't care. It's a hero's job to sacrifice themselves for the greater good of others. She says, do I make myself clear in a serious tone? And they're like, yes. And he was like, hey, bird bitch, you want some of this? Come at me. As he just rushes at the Nomu, as he just starts to dodge his punches and starts to slice at it. Until eventually the Nomu is able to grab Izuku, as he says, as Shigaraki says, move one finger, and I'll order this Nomu to kill this kid. As almost everyone, most of the people in 1A, except for Kirishima, Jiro, Mineta, Todoroki, and Tsuyu, say, go ahead, we don't care. He's a quirkless loser. I was like, damn, they don't even care. No, get rid of this kid. Put this kid out of commission. So yeah, that's what Nomu does. He basically breaks Izuku's bones and breaks a few of Izuku's ribs. And Aizawa also cares for Izuku. Since this one, Aizawa actually adopted Izuku. His mom said that Inko died at childbirth. Actually left him instead of Hizashi leaving. And Hizashi abuses Izuku because of it. Like a day before, then, like a few days before that, he just gives Izuku a gruesome beating. It's just like, why do I deserve this, Dad? Like, don't call me that. And he says, cause you're the reason why your mother left. You're the reason why I have to deal with you, you mistake. I just starts to beat Izuku. As I was patrolling his area, as he breaks down the door, he's like, oh, you're under arrest for abuse. And this was during the time. And Aizawa and Izuku got really close. And Izuku told Aizawa about what he did. At first, Aizawa didn't really believe it until he saw it. He's actually beating Izuku. So basically, after that, he said, you're under arrest for child abuse. And sometimes Azashi even starves Izuku too. Which forces Izuku to learn how to cook. So he cooks for himself. So basically, after that, Aizawa takes Izuku in. Because this one, I'm gonna see that that Shinzo, is actually in 1A instead of Toru. No, actually, there's 21 students in 1A. The 21st is actually Shinzo. And I'm gonna say that Aizawa also adopted Shinzo years before. And Izuku and Shinzo were actually really close friends. So when he learned Izuku being quirkless, he didn't care. And so after that, and after All Might comes in and defeats the Nomu, he's like, Asui and Mineta are sad. And they're like, young Asui, young Mineta, what is wrong? As Asui says, Midoriya, he sacrificed his life for us, and just to save Aizawa. When he saw that Aizawa was getting beaten down by the Nomu, he was willing to rush in there so we can save him and get him out of the way. All my here says he's just shocked. Like this kid, despite him being worthless, he still rushed in on this thing, on that thing, just to save his teacher. As actually, when Izuku I'm gonna say that he actually had a crush on Jiro. And when he sees that Jiro's about to get hit, when he was barely conscious, he's like, as he sees this, the people who cared about actually about to get hit, like, hurt by the Nomu, he's like, no, I can't. As he just lets out a massive scream as he gets up, as he basically just transforms into this. As it says, Dragon's Breath. As he just completely incinerates the Nomu. As All Might came punched out the USJ. As after that, Izuku passed out. Whenever Seeds saw this, they were just surprised about what Izuku did. As we cut to the universe of Fairy Tail. As Natsuo is about to die of old age. As he's like, I hope one day, hopefully in a different universe, or in this timeline's future. As he's dying of old age and a heart disease. It's like, I hope my power. I hope I could train someone to learn my powers in the Dragon Force. As he just passed away, as they just see his soul just shoot off into the stars. As when at that time he was watching over Izuku since he sensed potential in him. First he had Stevie at the heart as when he saw him using his power, he's like, he's perfect. As Natsu went into his mindscape. As when Izuku's knocked out, he's in his mindscape like, where am I? As Natsu says, you're in your mindscape, kid. As Izuku sees, as he sees this boy right here, and he's like, who are you? My name is Natsu, the Fire Dragon Slayer. He's like, I'm from a different universe. I've been watching over you for a while now, kid. And I saw you using my power. When you breathed out that fire, that was my power. As you think it's like, that was yours? Yes. So I decided for you to be my reincarnation. You will gain all my powers and abilities, and I will train you to use them. And he's like, thank you. There's also, I'm gonna say during this time, Ochako, he was dating Ochako. What says he sometimes came out a bit too straightforward. As he came up to her on the second day, he's like, Ochako, as she says, I like you. As they've been dating for a few days, actually a month. Izuku bought her some stuff as he had since I said that he also had his own part-time job. And she was secretly cheating on him with Bakugo behind his back. As when he wakes up, and says at this time Natsuo had to train Izuku and how to use his fire dragon slayer abilities, and to use his dragon force power. As the doctors clear him to go back to UA, as he bought some for Chaco on the way that was quite expensive. So, as he says, As he goes up to his room, as he hears moaning. And then he hears, "Take it, round face. Take it good." As Izuku's like, "That whore, she's cheating on me." It's like, Uraraka's cheating on me. As he just gets mad, as he fires up at this stage. So he basically goes into this stage as he kicks down the door, and as he just sees a blur. As he punches back, as next thing you know, you just see a hole in Uraraka's wall. And basically, you just see Izuku just hitting Bakugo while on their way down. As eventually, he just kicks him down there. And he just starts to wail on Bakugo. So, like, you think it's funny fucking my girlfriend? How about I fucking crush your damn face in? And he just starts to go ham on Bakugo. And Bakugo can't even use his quirk. The first thing Izuku did was break his arms. So he can't use his quirk. Then after that, they fight, they come out to see Izuku just beating Bakugo's ass. Kirishima's like, "Dude, calm down." And he tries to pull Izuku off of him. Izuku somewhat calms down a little, but his rage is still taking over as Izuku just punches, as Izuku just elbows Kirishima back, and he was hardened up just in case if he needed to. So yeah, basically, then after that, he basically just beats down on Bakugo. Eventually, he came to Aizawa, who had to capture him. And then I'm gonna say that Jiro came up and hugged him from behind, saying, "Izuku, please calm down." And he calms down as he then just, he's like, as I says, "Do you remember anything?" "A little. All I just remember was seeing this bastard fucking my girlfriend. And then I just saw a blackout. And then all of a sudden I just blacked out. I think I became rage." I mean, that's like, he's right. As he just points over to Uchaka's broken wall, as they just see her covered in bed sheets. Actually, they just see her with some panties on and a bra. They're like, "How can you do this, Uraraka?" As the new Deku Squad says, "How can you do this to Uraraka?" Someone's like, "He deserves it. He's quirkless." Did you not see what we just saw? It's clear he's not quirkless. And I would say that everyone else came out just as Izuku was calmed down. Because I'm saying that they made codes just in case. So something bad happened. Like if one of them became outraged, they just say code 01. As whenever one of them was upset, they say code 2.49. I'm just coming up with these. I just goes to Uraraka. It says, "We are done, slut." This is the day before the sports festival too. And he's just been gone over it. As I'm saying that over this time, Bakugo and Deku have actually been growing their relationship. So they're actually pretty good friends now. As he just goes up to Bakugo and says, "Yo, bro, actually, it wasn't Bakugo who did it. it was Ida. And Bakugo's like, Izuku's like, ayo, Bakugo. And it's like, yeah. Hey, you wanna come with me in the squad? Watching the mall? There's a new store. There's a dope ass store there. Has all types of brands of clothing and shoes. It even has its own brand. And it's like, she let go. I don't say that Izuku's got the privilege to drive. In Japan, there's only 50. You have to be at least 14 and a half or to 15 in order to be able to get a driver's license and above. And I would say that's the age for consent in this. It's like due to deed and stuff. Is 15. So yeah. So basically after this, so he basically just goes and does whatever. They just go to the mall and they just come back with hella clothes. Because I'm saying that Aizawa opened up a bank account for Izuku. As Izuku got a really good paying job. Pays like 100,000 a month. And he works overtime, so he gets an additional 20,000. No, 25,000. So he gets paid 125,000 a month. I say that up. And he has over 10 million in his bank. And when they come back, as they spend at least 300,000 at the store. They got that some new shoes. As Deku got the rarest pair, the only rare pair of shoes there. And since they were only in his size. Since I would say that Izuku's been trying to get okay with some of the class. Since I'm saying that he's pretty good with people like Momo. Which is actually this is gonna be changed. Actually, just screw it. So scratch that. It's what if Deku was. It's still gonna be what instead of it being by all of 1A, it's just gonna be by at least most of 1A. So basically, after that, they just go to they just head back to the dorms, and they're like, the fuck did you guys go? Oh, new shopping place not at the mall. And they're like, how did you afford all this? It was like, hit. Let's just say this man, let's just say you're looking at the guy that has over 10 million in his bank account. The Rocketeer, he was like, I regret breaking up with him. Like, I regret cheating on him. Since, yeah, basically after that, they just start to hang out more. And Bakugo and Deku be playing video games a lot now. They be playing games like Apex and stuff like that. They just hang out together a lot. As Izuku one night, since I'm gonna say that Jiro was actually dating Kita too. As she came into the room, as she says, Izuku, as he's like, yes. She asks, can I sleep in your room, please? And he's like, sure, I don't see why not. Because I'm gonna say that he dyed his hair pink to look more like Natsu, too. And I would say that one Bakugo's level like 470 on Apex, and Izuku's only like 125. As Izuku stayed up all night just grinding Apex. As he just was grinding to basically get to the level 500, and he did. As Bakugo goes into his room, and he's like, hey, Izuku, you wanna hang out? And he's like, sure. Hey, before we go, you wanna see what level I am on Apex now? And he's like, sure. I just see he's like, your level. He was like, huh? You were level 125 last night. How the fuck are you at level 500? Grinding, and almost most of my games, pure dubs. You feel me, dog? It's like I see. I'm saying that he got all the heirlooms too, just because I want him to. He got them on when they first came out. So 10 mil, you can buy anything you want, basically. So basically, after that, they hang out. They'll like go to an amusement park and stuff. And you were wondering, no, this is not gonna be a gay ship. They just hang out as bros. Like they won bunches of prizes and stuff. As then they just as they just win prizes and stuff as they leave. As Kirishima and Kaminari were hanging out there too. And they're like, well, is that Baki bro and Mido bro? As Kaminari's like, yeah. Once that picture all done together. Like, yeah. And they said this in one group chat as everyone's like, is he gay? Izuku sees this. He's like, Kaminari, what? And Kaminari, Kirishima, what the fuck? As he just says, boy, you better bring that as Bakugo and Deku say at the same time, bring that ass in, boy. As Kaminari and Sarah sees this, or as Kaminari and Kirishima see it, they're like, fuck this shit, I'm out. As they just rush out the amusement park. With Deku and Bakugo following right behind them, as they're like, get back here, you bastards! As they both say. As they're like, we're coming for you. And they're like, as they're just texting, save us, please! As they eventually catch up to him, as they just drag him into their dorms. And next thing you know, you just hear me screaming and punches being flew. As I was just being scared shitless. They're like, well, as Aoyama suddenly texts, well, all of a sudden I'm paralyzed, I can't help. As everyone's like, Since, so he's a good text, oh yeah, by the way, I'm not gay. Anyways, that's gonna be it for today, guys. See ya.